A few months ago in our little city of Jeffersonville, Indiana, I was called by Mother to go down and speak to the judge of the court, which is a personal friend of mine, and to intercede for her son, for he was going to penitentiary for stealing a car. And I called up the judge and I said, could I speak to you in the morning privately just a little before the trial? And he said, sure. And I went to his office and knocked at the door, and they opened the door. He asked the man to step out, and he gave me a nice big handshake and said, what's on your mind this morning, Brother Branham? And I said, Judge, I'd like to ask you something, knowing that you're going to stand someday before a just judge yourself. And I know that you have to be honest in your decisions, the best of your knowledge. But the boy that you're going to try, in a few minutes, the mother called me last night and said that her son sobbed on her shoulder and said, Mother, if God will only let me out, I'll serve Him all the days of my life. The judge looked at me and he said, Billy, you know what? I've never sent a man to penitentiary yet, but what wanted to be a preacher before he left. You see, it's when we are in trouble, then we begin to think about God. It's too bad that we have to have it that way, but it is that way. When Israel got in trouble, when they had forsaken God and went off after idols and doing things that they should not do, then they turned to God and cried out. They sacrificed sheep and animals and cried out day and night for mercy. And then the strange thing that was with Israel, so is it with the church today. God will come to their rescue, and then after it's all over, they forget all about it. If God was so merciful to forgive a man of his sins and to give him eternal life, he ought to be so reverent before God all the days of his life that he would never turn his feet from God's testimony. He should always walk upright before God. But it's just that way. They do it that way. It behooves us all, while we are not in trouble, to seek God. It isn't good to wait till we get in trouble and then seek God. It's best to find Him now. For it is written that He is a very present help in the time of trouble.